Alright guys, we're back. So let's take a look at this interview. This is me reacting to me from the recent Global Chess League. For those of you guys who aren't familiar, I did recently play in that event and I had some thoughts. So let's get going.
Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura of American Gambits is here with us. Hikaru, you just hunted Maxim's king all over the board. Can you tell us about the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think this was easily the best game that I've played in the tournament so far. I think that for Maxime, he didn't really play his best chess today. It felt very much like for him, he was going through the motions, playing moves simply because his team as well as mine were both sort of out of the running in terms of finishing in the top two. But that being said, I thought I found some really good moves in the middle game.
I look good in pink.
Move I thought was very good rather than playing d5. Rook a8 was probably the
Oh yeah, those of you guys are asking why am I wearing a pink shirt? I'm wearing a pink shirt because the team that I played for, we had a pink shirt. So those are just the team colors.
best move that I found in the game, just sacrifice the pawn on c5. So it was pretty smooth overall. I think the main thing I did very well is I never really thought for too long, and I sort of played more on flow, and it worked out. So I'm very happy with the game.
So when he started running away with his king,
all is pretty normal so far.
What would you say he could have done better?
I mean, I haven't looked at it yet with the engine, but my best guess is that b4. I think b4 was probably the critical mistake, if I could say that. I mean, again, I haven't looked at it with an engine, but after I played rook d8, king e4 is losing for sure, and maybe the computer will show some magic way to survive there, but everything's kind of hanging. There are all kinds of discoveries on the king. I have rook a3, knight e5. I mean, with all these ideas, I think it's impossible to find, especially with no increment. I mean, if you have like maybe a 5-second increment, you can maybe run down to 30 seconds and be like Grishchuk or Ali Reza, but in general, it seemed too late. So I think probably the big mistake was when he went knight takes c5. I think there he still might have had b4 at this point, or maybe instead of rook d1, b4. I thought he had to do something right away to try and simplify, because to me at least it seemed that he underestimated how strong rook a8 was going to be. So maybe around there he could have done something differently, but overall, I mean, it was just one of those games that was very one way, and fortunately it was in my favor.
The path for American Gambits to advance to the finals might be over, but still your team scored a dominating victory. So what would you say is driving the team to move forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing at the team is that we've been a little bit unfortunate. I mean, I actually, you know, when I wrote to the team last night, one of the unfortunate things is we lost both the matches to the Magnus team. We should have won at least one of those matches. I think 1 out of 2 would have been the fair score, but we ended up losing both. In the first one, Bier lost this very difficult game to Darda, which he probably should not have lost. And then the second match, was it Bibisar? There's another game that we lost that we never should have lost as well. So I would argue we probably should have won one of those two. If we do, we're in the hunt, but you know, it comes down to the margins, and things didn't really break our way.
Yeah, all this is pretty standard so far.
But that being said, I think all the players on the team, they've had moments when they played very well. I think everybody can be happy about something. So you know, you do what you can. I think that for myself, when it comes to the later stages, and certainly having had the most experience on the international stage, it's very important to kind of just relax and enjoy it. I actually felt that today, our team at least, everybody was kind of relaxed. They were playing good chess, and they weren't losing their mind.
You guys think Jonas played badly? He had a tough event. I mean, he had Jonas Bier Buell playing for our team. He had a very tough event. I agree with that. It was a very tough event for him.
Actually, I had this conversation with Elizabeth Patz after the game where you know, we saw like Vidit lose this game to Duda, and he was like super angry, and I mean, we were both kind of confused as to why, because I mean, it's this one rapid game. It's not that big of a deal in the bigger scheme of things. So
yeah.
I
Also, by the way, you know, this was really funny. You guys probably don't know this, but in this round when we beat Maxime's team, there are 2 guys who won their games. Jan Krzysztof Duda won his game against Vidit, and I won my game against Maxime. And I actually expected to get the prize for the best game because my game was a pretty clean, smooth win from start to finish. Whereas Duda's game, he was much worse, and then Vidit basically got too low on time and made some mistakes. And the thing that was funny is that after the game I thought I was going to get it, and then I didn't get it, and the running joke was that the reason I didn't get the prize for the best game was because Duda managed to make his opponent more angry than I did. For anyone who actually followed the Global Chess League,
it's just trying to keep everybody relaxed and somewhat calm, because I think whenever there's pressure, there are expectations, or for example, they may even feel expectations because I'm playing for the team. It's very important to sort of keep everybody level-headed, and if you do that, I think good things can happen. And overall, I'm pretty happy with the team the way they've played. We've been a little bit unlucky at times. I mean, Bibisara had a couple of shaky games at the start, but overall, I'm pretty happy with everybody.
World Championship is a little over a month away. If you have to pick between Ding and Gukesh, who is the pick?
Yeah, I mean, I've said this many times already, both here and on streams and everything else. I mean, unless Ding has a way to suddenly reverse, basically, I would say have basically short-term memory loss, where everything that's happened over the last year goes out of his mind, and he's able to play great chess as well. It's just, I don't see it being a close match. I think that all the signs point to a clear and dominating Gukesh victory. First of all, he's been playing much better chess over the last year and a half. Secondly, he's much younger, so he is still improving. He has not peaked in terms of the level that his chess can get to.
What's check
and then third, just look at Ding's games. I think specifically, I would look at the game against Laquang Liam, because in that game he had a marginal advantage. I think like 0.3, 0.4 was an end game. Those are the sorts of games in a world championship match you're going to have to win. You're going to have to grind those games out, like Magnus has done many times. And not only did he not grind out, he then went from better to equal to a very slightly worse end game. And obviously in a world championship match where everybody's super well prepared, you're probably going to get these positions where you're slightly worse.
And
then he didn't defend that
I'll
either.
answer your question.
He didn't convert the small advantage, then he turned it into a slightly worse end game, which he should have defended, but he even lost that. So just to me, I just don't see any world where Gukesh doesn't win, unless Ding is able to, say, draw the first 4 or 5 games, and we get to a moment where if he gets like one great game in the middle and he wins, then of course he could win the match. But overall, I would say it's probably 80-20. That's my prediction.
Yeah. So I mean, for anybody who's wondering, when you ask about Gukesh, I don't think that Gukesh has peaked. I think Gukesh is young enough that he's still improving. I don't think it's peaked. If Gukesh were 25 years old, my attitude or my take might be different. But at Gukesh's current age, I do not think that he has peaked. I think Gukesh is going to get better because Gukesh has beaten me. Actually, no. Gukesh's career score against me is negative. It's 2 draws in the candidates, and I beat him in Norway chess last year. So, no, it's actually in my favor. So I'm not quite sure what you're trying to say there or something. But yeah, I just don't think so. Magnus Nepo, people said it's 50-50. The reason that it's not 50-50 is because Ding has not been the same player that he was 2 years ago or 3 years ago. If you go back to peak Ding in 2018, 2019, he was a very good player. If you go back to then, I would say Ding is the clear favorite, honestly. If Ding could play like that, he's the favorite. It's probably 65-35 if I had to guess in his favor, but he has not played good chess in a long time. And Gukesh seems to be getting better and better. I really feel like Gukesh is playing better chess now than he was in the candidates, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, let's keep going.
I overheard you speaking about India's first international master, Manuel Aaron. So have you met him or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's been many years. I definitely met him at the World Youth Chess Festival. You know, one thing that I'm a little bit, I would say, sad about or disappointed in is that, you know, it's very easy in this modern age of social media to sort of look at who's doing what, when, and, you know, kind of in the present moment and not understand the history. And I think, you know, when you look at India, Manuel Aaron, I think he was India's first international master, if I remember correctly. I don't know when he started Chessmate, but as I said in an interview that I just did, I remember playing, I think it was the under 10s in like 98 or 99, whenever it was, and I played one of the Indian kids, I don't remember which one, but I think the kid gave me a copy of this book Chessmate, or the magazine Chessmate, which of course was published by Manuel Aaron. I think I met him at that event as well. So just, you know, one of the sort of pioneers. I mean, sure, like obviously Vishy did what he did, but there always are people trying.
Yeah, so for anybody who's wondering what I'm talking about here, basically what I'm saying, to be very clear, is that in history there are a lot of people who've laid the groundwork, who've been doing things, who are like kind of, I wouldn't say they're in the wrong place at the wrong time, but I would say that what they've done doesn't get recognition. And I think that's legitimately a thing. Like, for example, if you look at chess in New York City, is a good example of people who've done a lot. There were three people who played a massive role in terms of chess becoming something where people could teach and earn a living. You have so many chess programs in various schools around New York, and like the reason I bring this up is like there are all these people who do these things, and then it's like the modern day, nobody knows who they are or what they did. And I do actually think it's kind of sad, because I'm old enough to the point where I actually remember these people who were like my predecessors in a certain way.
Trying to do little things, and I think his place.
Why are we
as
watching
well,
without a beard?
I think
Sorry,
he's still alive.
Sorry,
right?
apologies.
So, and also, I think he had was it like a grandson? He had someone he had like a grandson or someone who's very good at chess, like 23-2400 also. But anyway, yeah. So I think like he's also done a lot. I remember reading.
Actually, for anybody who has Levy and two other guys, no, I would say that one of the biggest, actually, you know, one of the things that has helped Levy the most in terms of streaming and content is that he was actually teaching chess to earn a living in New York City. I think people mostly know about this, but he was teaching chess in New York City. And if it were not for three people, basically Bruce Pandolfini, my stepfather, and Sevatar Jovanovic, who taught chess at the Dalton School in New York, if not for the three of them, there would be I really don't believe that teaching chess in New York City would be a profession. Like, I'm not joking. I don't think it'd be a profession. So when we talk about these things, like, there are a lot of people who've done things. If you look at India, Manuel Aaron, he had this chess magazine. He also he also was the first Indian international master. Like, there are a lot of people from different times where, because it's before the media age, they kind of end up being like only remembered by people who were around back then versus being like well known by the world. Let's keep going.
Reading those magazines and actually inputting some of those games into chess space. Actually, now that I start thinking about it, jogs other memories. I remember there was some, I don't remember which issue it was, but there's some issue where I think Peter Lecco had just gotten married to his wife, I think Sophie, and there was some picture of like him standing with her, then like going in for a kiss, or there's some snippet of like 3 or 4 pictures. I didn't remember that for some reason. But obviously he's made quite a big contribution as well to chess.
Oh,
and I
this
think,
is so disappointing. By the way, did they not? I was hoping they'd be able to edit this and find that exact copy of the magazine. That's so sad that they couldn't find that issue. I really was hoping they could find that issue of the magazine and just like insert it into this video. That's disappointing.
You look at the trajectory, you look at what he did, you look at what Vishy has done. Now you have people like Sagara, you have the kids. I mean, all one thing leads to another thing, but all of it kind of in a way, it's all very harmonious. So I think his impact was very important as well.
After this event, what's next for you?
Yeah, so after this event, I believe that I'm going to be playing a match against Faustino Oro in Argentina at the start of November. I don't think it's been publicly announced, but as I understand it, it is happening. So that should be the next event. And then, actually, right before that, there's an official random event in St. Louis with Gary Kasparov and a few of the other top American chess players. So then I do that. Then I have the match in Argentina, and then probably the World Rapid and Blitz in New York City. That should be my schedule. After that, it's very unclear. I mean, I've said it a few times that when it comes to classical chess, I'm going to pick the tournaments very carefully and really focus on in 2025, probably in the latter half of the year. So I'll figure out the events that I'm playing. I think I'm playing Norway chess in May, if I remember correctly, but it's more just trying to figure out which events to play and go from there. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, that's pretty standard. I'm not actually sure why my squad asked me to watch this, react to this interview. This might be the wrong one. But anyway, yeah, so that was from the Global Chess League. We have one more to watch. Let's pull this up. What is this?
Welcome back, everyone, for today's video. Just kidding. This is becoming too much of a regular occurrence because my opponents are thinking too long in every game. Well, I guess we're live once again, everybody. So, yeah, I think last year people seemed to enjoy me coming to the confessional booth and pretty much wasting all my time talking about chess or whatever rather than playing the game. So, chess I think is 90% mental and the other half is preparation, or maybe I've got the order backwards. I did a fair amount of preparation.
Oh, is the volume too low? Is the volume too low? Maybe the volume's too low on this one. Okay, let me up it. Maybe it's too low. Let's go. Let's try again. Here we go.
Welcome back, everyone, for today's video. Just kidding. Psych. This is becoming too much of a regular occurrence because my opponents are thinking too long in every game. Well, I guess we're live once again, everybody. So, yeah, I think last year people seemed to enjoy me coming to the confessional booth and pretty much wasting all my time talking about chess or whatever rather than playing the game. So,
this is good.
Chess I think is 90% mental and the other half is preparation, or maybe I've got the order backwards. We did a fair amount of preparation last night and this morning, but probably for like the hour before I came here, all I was doing was looking at stocks. So Levy can make some recap. He sacked the rook and he won a great game. He's 5-head, all this stuff. Now I'm becoming too much of a streamer again with these comments, but
this is a good compilation.
Good, but again, even though I like my position, I am honestly just bored out of my mind, which is probably why I'm back here again. I feel very good about my game, zero risk, all the time in the world. I can drink my coffee, just chillax, and whoops.
Cheers.
I'll be back in here pretty soon to say that it's a draw, or I'll probably be sitting at the board thinking a lot. What to say, I'm obviously not happy with my position, especially based on the 30 minutes I spent on the previous move. Bored as usual, I think is the word to use right now. I feel like I'd rather just be streaming right now than playing this game or maybe trading some stocks, but For anyone who's wondering, that the tweet had absolutely nothing to do with chess. And today, you know, my attitude is kind of try to play chess like an ape. Just be like an ape and play random, simple, easy chess, nothing exciting, don't think, just move. And I mean, diamond hands forever, so pretty straightforward. Queen b6, knight c4, queen f6, king d1, rook e2, rook f1, rook d2, rook f6, rook d5, rook f3, rook d1, rook f1, rook d3, knight a5. Thought about trolling you guys, but I'm not really in the mood. Very slow, just keeping all the pieces on the board against Pragnanand, haha. I just did some interview recently where he's talking about the Indian players, and he said something like Arjun's a madman who tries to kill you every time, and I'm getting the sense that Prag is trying to incorporate that a little bit more rather than being super pragmatic, pun intended. So probably won't be seeing much of me today just because I think I really have to sit down and use my time very, very wisely today. Third time, not that I'm counting or anything. Ooh. Today's different. I see today they actually try to be more creative, and they mounted the microphone here to make it look a little bit better. We'll see if it works or it doesn't work, but it's
really good.
So, unfortunately, computers have made a lot of these old Sicilians from the 1990s somewhat irrelevant, or more like dinosaur ideas these days. So how the game goes on, there's going to be play. There's probably going to be some chance to create a mess on the board, and that's really what I'm hoping for in this game. When your human opponent is able to just blitz out move after move after move every move, you feel like you're not really playing against a human. It's literally you're playing against stockfish, for lack of a better way of putting it. And one thing that great champions in any sport have, and this isn't even really necessarily chess, is that they have a way of getting it done in the critical moments. And Magnus is busy eating noodles or something in the back room and letting 10 minutes tick off his clock against Ding. I don't know why, but he is. Okay, I came back, not so much to talk about my game, but more to sort of muse it how insane Magnus seems to be. Magnus played another typical brilliant Armageddon game. And so
good.
It looked like Bobby was hanging on with knight g3 and h4, but Magnus is Magnus, and his technique is simply unparalleled, frankly. I think that's all that needs to be said. But I've played Magnus so many times that the one thing you have to always be careful against Magnus is to not slip up. I mean, as soon as you think it's like, you're fine, you've saved the game, or maybe not even saved, but generally when you think you're okay, that's usually the moment of the most danger. When you kind of fall asleep at the wheel. So this is kind of the issue in a way with chess these days, which is that if you're playing with the white pieces and you can't surprise your opponent, I think in many aspects, it's better to be playing with the black pieces, because then you get to surprise your opponent. They have to spend a lot of time. All right, everybody, this is going to be the final confessional booth visit by me during this tournament. This will be my 32nd time in the 10th round.
I even counting
one more time, perhaps later, but I think this is probably it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the show, and let's just keep rolling, so I'll be back in a few. Or probably never again. But we'll see. We'll see. Actually, in the spirit of Magnus, I decided to come back.
That's a great last little clip, by the way. That's a hilarious ending there. That's great. That was a good video, actually. I didn't realize, I mean, how much I said in that back area, but yeah, that was a good compilation. So I'll have my mods put the link in chat, and that's gonna be it for right now, and let's move back on to chess.